Hey everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here, and it's that time for us to kind of have a conversation regarding, what we can do to improve our production. Of course, I'm here with you at the Real Geeks Mastermind Facebook page, and I want to talk about email. And the question is, emails, are they still relevant, or is it just a bunch of noise? I see a lot of people are not sending as many emails as they used to. And I know it's because they've gotten discouraged because of conversations around deliverability rates, etc. I understand. Or maybe they're discouraged because they just lack the confidence to figure out what should my subject line should be, what should my content be. There's various reasons why people are not sending as much email. A lot of it has to do with we're using autoresponders, we're texting, and we're doing everything using action plans. So we're just not creating custom emails nearly as much as we used to. But let me tell you this. It's not noise. Emails are still relevant, highly relevant, especially so far in 2025, and anticipated it'll be that way in 2025 or 2026. I've got some notes in front of me. Actually, I've got some notes on my phone that I'm going to just share with you because of this conversation. I did some studies, and nearly 99% of users, people that have email, nearly 99% of them check their inbox at least one time per day, with the majority of them doing it multiple times per day. So email is one of the top channels for reaching and nurturing people. That's just a fact. They did some studies on emails and they looked at email marketing. What is the ROI? The ROI on email marketing is anywhere between $36 and $42 for every dollar spent. What kind of, where can we get that type of return? Spend a dollar, make $36. That's the type of return, the ROI off of email marketing. So that's relevant. And the daily check rate, meaning almost 100%, I kind of said this before, almost 100% open up their email every day. It's nearly 99% actually. So it's a high check rate. People are checking. Of course, they may be checking. That doesn't mean they're going to open it. It doesn't mean they're going to open it. But think of how many more emails you can send versus text. So there's a balance. Yes, more people are going to see your text and going to see your emails, but you're going to send less text. Like if you sent hypothetically, I'm not suggesting you do an e-blast, but let's just say for every 500 people, maybe 100 of them open up your email. But you're not going to send 500 texts in a day. That's just not going to happen. And if you did, be careful because you're probably spamming via text, and that's very dangerous. Highly, I suggest that you don't do something like that because you got to deal with the TCPA rules and regulations. Now, we all know that inboxes are crowded. Email, there's a lot of people sending bulk emails, and bulk emails, for the most part, are irrelevant. Bulk emails are not really engaging with audience. They're not getting opened. Those are the ones that are not getting delivered. But the ones that are developing personal emails with human touch, they remain essential. Now, on the is it relevant or noise? Bulk emails blasted out in the masses, not communicating real value, that's noise and they are irrelevant. But what we can do, however, is create compelling subject lines, maintain good sender credibility. So like your score, content relevance, making sure that you're sending something that's relevant that will get them engaged. This is how you work email and get an ROI. So personalization, valuable content, you got to be trusted as a sender. You do that by becoming a recognizable agent, or maybe your brand is recognized. These things are going to help. And you got to have it planned out. Like if you're going to use action plans, plan it out, think it through. When you're building an action plan, don't just build it for the sake of like checking it off the list. Build it for the sake of making sure that you're building value over time and each email stacks on top of the other and makes sense to the consumer. Those are the things that's going to make this good. So just when it comes to open rate, anything around 20% is decent. Decent. Now, 35 to 40% open rate indicates you probably have strong subject lines and you've got really good engagement. Okay. Open rates below 15% typically is a sign that you have issues. Maybe your list quality, maybe your sender reputation, and your subject lines are just not compelling for someone to open up. And be careful when you use ChatGPT or other AI to create your compelling subject lines. Be careful on that. Like sometimes the AI will return a subject line and it says properties available. So if you're going to use AI, make sure you prompt it properly for compelling subject lines. Or better, why don't you just create one yourself? Then you can get into the 35 to 40% open rate. And you start doing that, now you're getting a return. So there's some takeaways that I just want you to be thinking about when it comes to email marketing. It's still one of the highest ROI channels for us as real estate professionals. Open rates, email open rates around 20 to 25. Your goal should be 35 to 40%. Think of this. Look at your open rate now. If it's not 35 to 40%, start changing things. Start with a compelling subject line. Redo your subject lines. Like if you go to an action plan or your workflows, emails, and you see what's the open rate for each one of those emails, any of them that are falling below 35%, change the subject line. Check it in a month and see, did that help you get your open rate up? You get your open rate up, you are going to get a higher ROI, period. And never forget personalization, relevance, well planned out. That's how you overcome noise and drive engagement. Volume-based generic emails kills your database because you quickly lose the attention of your audience, buyers or sellers. This is one of those times where it's faster to actually go slower. So I just want to remind you, email marketing remains very much alive and effective in our business. Go out and use it. Talk to you soon.